okay? And hi, Marianne Toll here, and I forgot about something. I need to go to bed, but I just washed my hair. I took a shower. Something happened weird today. I went to the post office to get a package, and I'm carrying it in this cart and dragging it behind me, and I've got a handful of mail in one hand and my sun umbrella in the other, because I have and my sun umbrella. So my hands kind of full, and I'm kind of jostling things, and I'm going over things in my head, and I actually might have been talking to myself because I was thinking about stuff and trying to go through stuff in my head, which I do sometimes. But I get to an intersection near my house, and there's this girl. I just realized there's a girl walking in front of me, and she's crossing the street. So I think it's okay for me to walk across the street without thinking. Realize halfway across the street that the light's changing and it's changing red, and I could get hit by a car. So I very quickly start running across the street. And then this girl, though, and this is right at the intersection near my house, near where I live, she turns back around and goes back across the street. And I was like, what was that? And it reminded me of what Cynthia Youngblood did a few weeks ago in Los Feliz, because I'm walking up the street and she's behind me. And I get to this intersection. Okay, I get the intersection near the library in my neighborhood. And I'm waiting to go north on this one street. And I look down the street, and Cynthia Youngblood's right there. I'm like, oh. And she sees me. I know she sees me, and I see her. So I turn and start going across the street. Well, the thing is, Cynthia Youngblood could have crossed the street, gone to the other side of the street, if she was trying to avoid me at this intersection. Because we were both south of the intersection. Instead, she follows behind me. And she follows me all the way up the street for like 2 blocks, 3 blocks. And then when I get this intersection 3 blocks up, she then, and this is after I finally got my phone working, we turned around and recorded her, then she crosses the street and goes back down. And I'm like, okay. The thing is, I wasn't following her at all. I was going to the local organic store in my neighborhood because I needed to get a wellness shot because I hadn't been feeling well. So I went to get a wellness shot at the thing, and then I went home. And I'm like, oh, that was strange. And I posted little videos online. So I'm like, I don't know who this girl was. She was in her 20s. But I am so sick of the next generation. Because I know the next generation, if they know anything about me, they're going to think I was crazy, I was stupid, I was scary. And I'm like, no, I'm sick. I'm underweight. I'm actually terrified of everyone because you could hurt me. You could hurt me more than I could hurt you. A line of bad gossip could prevent me from being able to pay my bills. You want to know how people end up homeless on the streets? It's careless, insensitive people knocking someone down and continuing to knock someone down until they can't have anything. Because we live in a society where the only thing that matters is external. It doesn't matter how smart you are. It doesn't. It doesn't matter how intelligent you are. If you look like you're together, fake it until you make it. Well, I've never been one to fake it. But I've always been the kind of person who kind of made it on some level because I always had a high IQ. I always had good grades in school. I never actually didn't apply myself. The only time I actually failed at anything in school, really, was in law school. I had a car accident, and I just was not meant to be an attorney at all. I got 2 Ds my one year when I had the car accident. It was the first time in my life I'd ever had an accident that was so bad that it was terrifying to me. Like, I never had my body fail me like that. And then after that, I was kind of one failure of my body after another. But in 1997, when I had that accident, it terrified me because all of a sudden I couldn't really walk. And I couldn't really do anything. And I was always kind of bad at gym. And I was always never very athletic. But I was actually finally getting to the point where I felt good about my body and was getting strong. And I was running and I was playing basketball. I was playing basketball in a recreational basketball team at Catholic Law School. I don't think a lot of people knew that, but I was on a basketball rec team, and I had to give it up. I had to quit. I haven't been able to play basketball really since. I was a runner in high school. It meant a lot to me to be able to run. It gave me confidence and self-worth. I went from being this girl who wouldn't talk to anybody to this girl who could hold herself up, and then all of a sudden, I couldn't run anymore. And then I came to California, and because the weather was nicer out here, I finally was able to get to the point where I could not. I haven't been running. I can't really run. That's just it. It was really weird. It's like people kept sending me stuff about running and stuff like that, thinking, well, she must be faking it. At least that's the way I felt. I'm thinking, what are you? When are you guys going to get it through your heads? I'm never going to run a road race ever again. I'm never going to do running recreationally, because the doctors warned me that if I continue to run, I'd have to have knee replacement surgery by as old as I am now. So, I mean, as it stands, I'm having trouble because became a shut-in, because I stopped going out. I stopped participating in life. I stopped hiking in the woods. I stopped basically exercising. I became a recluse who barely got out of bed. I now can barely stand on my one leg for any length of time like I used to with yoga. I used to be able to do the stork move for like 15 minutes. I could stand on one leg and just balance myself. Now I can't. I'm trying to figure out a way to fix that problem. But this is what that troll did to me. This is what you guys all did to me, bullying me. We don't want Laura to have any friends. She must have never had friends just because I was independent, self-reliant, and an introvert who preferred books to people. I had friends in high school. But here's the thing. None of my friends in high school were actually people I chose to be in my life, because I didn't have a phone in my room. The only phone in the house was one's in the kitchen where everyone could hear it, including my parents. So I actually never had privacy when I was growing up. I never had the opportunity to have like any sense of my own space, my own sense of worth. I couldn't, like, my parents would go through my stuff all the time. I had no privacy at all. Imagine living in with parents who were like that. Never being able to have a private moment with friends or be able to have a private conversation. These television shows where these kids are like, who are in their high school, are like talking on their phone and chit-chatting behind their parents' back. That wasn't my life. I never left the house unless my parents knew where I was going and who I was meeting up with, and they heard the conversation on the phone and knew what was going on. So it's, yeah, I don't think people could. I think people today could not fathom growing up the way the X-Geners did. You want to know why we X-Geners shouldn't be messed with? Because we experiencing things you people will never understand. You will never understand having to survive without a telephone, having to survive with actually never being allowed to have privacy or never being allowed to connect with people, really. Or if you did connect with people, I mean, it's like, it depends. Like, the X generation ranges from people like me, who had no privacy whatsoever, who were completely excluded from relationships and social life, to the opposite, where you ran free and had complete freedom, but you still didn't have a cell phone. So you'd run off and your parents wouldn't know where you were half the time or didn't care. So it's like one or the other. And this woman, this girl, this young millennial who did that yesterday, I'm like, and I actually think I said, it was crazy. I had a box and my mail with me, and I was lugging this package with me. I was obviously going somewhere with a purpose. I don't know what this girl's mindset was and why she did what she did. But then there are perfectly good-looking people who look like they're normal who are completely crazy in California. You will not believe how some of the strangest things. I mean, I've had a woman quote the Bible at me on the bus who looked like she should be on a television for a film set. And I was like, this woman looks like she could be a model, and yet she's in my face, and there's nobody else on this bus but me, and she's reading the Bible in my face. I think I put a video with that online. So, I don't know. And then today I found out I'm still banned from Sag Aftra, and they expect me to be able to, if I have to have they expect me to conduct business with Sag Aftra over the phone, and they expect me to conduct business with Aftra separated from the union, not being allowed in the building, when I have no resources whatsoever, and I can't trust the union, and I'm terrified and scared, and I need for people in the union to see me as being a member. Because as far as I'm concerned, they've labeled me things I'm not. And those labels are going to stick for the rest of my life. I might as well have a Star of David on me that says, we're going to put you in an extermination chamber and we're going to kill you. That's what SAG AFTRA's done to me. That's what Asaph Cohen and Blake Shields and Abramovich and Woody Schultz and Jason George have done to me. As far as I'm concerned, they're Nazis. And I just wanted to work and make a living. I love acting so much that I don't have a reason to want to get up out of bed, and I don't want therapy. I hate the therapy community. I hate the social work community. Because you just want to program me to get a regular job. You want me to be like everyone else. You want to lobotomize my brain. I don't feel anything now. I feel empty inside. I don't write poetry anymore. I hate taking photographs. I've stopped taking pictures. I don't care. I don't get anything from taking a picture. I don't feel anything when I snap the picture anymore. Because I'm not living a life. I'm not in that picture. I actually hated having my picture taken growing up. I never liked myself. And I finally got to the point where I actually liked me. I looked in the mirror and thought, I'm a beautiful woman. I like myself. And then I lost my breast to cancer, and then the industry decided to kick me out because I wasn't a woman anymore. I'm a freak without boobs. I don't want your friendship, and I don't want your love, and I don't want your empathy, and I don't want your understanding, and I don't want our connection. I don't want to be a normal American. I don't want to hang out with normal Americans. When I was on We Audition, I had hope. I filed tax returns saying I made money as an actor. I will never file a tax return in this country again unless I can be with actors. I will not care about working for an organization where I have to work face-to-face with actors, however, in person, when I have an autoimmune disease. I'm not going to network with people to get a job because I don't trust anyone. I don't like being manipulated by people and who's in my life and who isn't. And as far as I'm concerned, that's exactly what Sag Aftra is doing. We want to keep you away from the union membership. You're not allowed to be with friends with anyone in the union. You're not allowed to be with the Sag Aftra community. You need to be forced into a relationship with a guy with a regular job, forced to have friends who have regular jobs, and forced to be average. Well, Woody Schultz from Maryland, F you. And Blake Shields, fuck you and your Israeli flag. And also Jeremy Galbraith, screw you for molesting me. And Alana Philo, Miss Frat Girl from McDaniel College. I hate you and your entire sorority because R.J. Meesday was a slut who stole my boyfriend. Yeah. And John Ponzio, I was kissing John Ponzio before Cynthia Youngblood was. But I didn't care about him anymore because he lied. I don't need men to validate me. I was validated in the 12th grade when I was told I had a reading ability of a 12th grader, when most people could read it when I was in the 6th grade. And I know there are posts online that make me look like I'm an illiterate, and typos online that make me look like I'm crazy or fucked in the head or whatever. I was a very accomplished woman. But apparently, the acting community or Sag Aftra wants everyone to know you don't need a college education to be an actor. We only want you to be sexy, perfect, wear a suit and tie, and look like you walked out of a GQ magazine, and look like you belong on a film and television set because you are professional, because you look attractive. Okay. Then are you going to make all the men shave their beards, go to the salon and look like they're trim and fit and walked out of a Wall Street executive suite? Or is it just us women who have to be perfect 24/7? If it's just us women who have to be neat, do I have to get my nails done in order to be an actress? Because I can't, because I have autoimmunity. My nails cannot be done because the nail polish makes my nails actually get frailer, and it has caused me to have a reaction. I haven't been able to wear nail polish for years. So thank you. Thank you for basically telling me that that I'm imperfect, that I'm not good enough, that I'm a failure. You made me a failure. I had 2 films and festivals in 2011. I can't connect with anybody now. I can't trust anybody now. I can't go out and get an agent or manager because I know Sag Aftra is going to tell them not to sign me. I'm not going to impress any casting agents because I don't have the money to do workshops, and I'm Sag Aftra, but all the other members get to do workshops for free or cheap, and I'm not allowed to do any of them. I'm not allowed to do the workshops at SAG Foundation with everybody else. I can't even sign up or email SAG Foundation. My email has been blocked. I'm not good enough. So I shouldn't even reproduce. Thank you very much for being so fit fucking Hitler. I'm Sag Aftra. Jawohl, Sag Aftra. I have a star that's on me that says I'm a disabled, mentally ill person and should end my life. That's the message you've given me.